people bring up maybe, oh, well, what if you lived so long, and then everyone you know died, and that would make you really sad. Well, first off, if we all had the immortality thing, then we would all be living together. And secondly, even if you were just one immortal guy somehow, and everyone you know eventually dies, and now that's sad, everyone you know is also born. Think of all the people that you would never otherwise meet. Think of everyone in this incredible future of yours that you could have had, but, oh, I'm sorry, you had a regular life and you died. Think of all you missed by not living. You have this intrinsic knowledge that life is generally a good thing, and now we're declaring too much of it is bad. And it's not like we were having a standard fantasy story here where it's immortality at a cost, you made a deal with the devil and you're going to be immortal, but you have to commit murder every Tuesday. Like, oh, well then we could say, see, the man has gained immortality, but he's lost, like, his soul, or, he's lost morality, a whole bunch of people are getting killed, 52 people a year every Tuesday, and that's not worth it. Oh, well, yes, sure. And certain avenues of research also go in that way. There's objections to stem cells, for instance, and whether that counts as destroying a human life in order to foster research. Okay, fine. But the general idea of research, of any and all research, of anything that could possibly lead to living really long, at what point are you just going to say, frig it, I'm going to die now? And furthermore, don't we think here for a moment that it's going to be like you get to 100 and then like you have to be really old from then on out. You have to be all wrinkly and you're barely moving and you're barely getting by and everything for the next 1,000 years, and maybe that would be crap. Well, first off, it would still be worth something. And secondly, no, we plan on curing that too. The idea would be that you'd be 120 years old and it'd be like you were 30 or something. You'd be fine. Just theoretically. You could say maybe that'd be hard. Again, maybe it would take 5,000 years to figure it out, but we come around to it, that should be fine. Now, this quote really baffled me. Bioethicist Daniel Callahan, he's from the Hastings Center, which is based in Garrison, New York. He says, quote, "There is no known social good coming from the conquest of death," unquote. Ooh, I've got one. Social good. You want it? Hear me? Pick me, okay. Not dying. That whole deal with you have a funeral and everyone's like, oh crap, someone's dead, or if someone's about to die, they're like, no, they don't want to die, because they want to live, because they want to... There is no known social good, except for the whole life part. I thought life was sort of a prerequisite for social good. If no one's alive, there's not a lot of social good could be going around, And if people could live longer, then theoretically that would be good. And the argument that if you were living forever, then you wouldn't have any motivation or anything. I'll give you that a finite lifespan can give a certain sense of urgency to things, but we kind of ignore that sense of urgency most of the time. A lot of people waste a lot of time, myself included. And I don't think. Particularly it's a real question of just how many years you have to live. B, I think we're quite capable of doing stuff even though we have ample amounts of time, or infinite amounts of time on our hands. People say that if you didn't have death coming up, then you wouldn't mean anything, you wouldn't do anything, you wouldn't bother with anything. You might sit around and not bother for a while until you realize, wow, this is boring, and then let's do something interesting. Let's do an infinite number of interesting things. When I get up and I have my ideas or something, and I have my dreams, and I have my infinite stories I want to tell, the wonders I want to create, my friends, I do these things not from fear of death, but for love of life. And if I had no death, there would just be all the more life worth loving. That would be beautiful. Would it not? Again, in the technical sense, this may turn out to be less feasible than we think. It may take a while, and there may be various, legitimate issues to think about on the road to any technological advance. And I mentioned stem cell research. Okay, there's a fair debate over that. Cool. But to say at the very core that immortality is bad, that's just a simple fear of the unknown. Embrace the unknown a little bit, why don't you? Infinite life gives us infinite possibilities. And, in general, I consider it to be a good thing. Thanks for watching. See you later.